Ladies, my name is Chaz, and welcome to the or should I say, welcome back to What If Lazy Was in My Hero Academia, Part 2. If this, or so the, in Part 1, I went over the, almost everything, all the way to All Might vs. All for One, that Lazy was a spy. Or UA spy. And no one knew about it. And then where we left off, the customers had their quirks back. And yeah. So then now we switch over to Infinity, that was still recovering from the surgery that was successful. Yeah. As the Zuko, or so Infinity tells Principal Nezu, there's one thing. As he checked the pocket thing, and he found a paper as he opens it, and it said two UA traders. One was Lazy, and the other was, of course, it might spoil the new episode or new manga series, but it's this guy. We all probably knew that it was coming. So, yeah. So they were like, man, you knew about, you kept that from us. Yeah. And so Nezu says, well, what will happen if both of you found out, or when who gave you those quirks in the first place? My memory is kind of a little bit fuzzy, but I remember seeing the quirk doctor's face. It was a lab underneath the doctor's office. Somewhere else. But I can't remember what it was. But the only person that has all those memories is my Zero. Yeah. He has all the memories of it. Of what happened during that 10 years. Hers. So, yeah. So they know that he's a more caring person. As everyone could not believe. And you know who still falls in love with him? She doesn't really care if his name was the Piper, And no, it's not the dog's name. It's my character's name. Or Lazy. There's Piper, is his old name. Then it got transferred to Lazy, little AZ. And then it got transformed into Infinity and Zero. Yeah. So she does not care about, like, his names, as long as she does care about him. So yeah, everyone's like, I mean, everyone really likes Zero and Infinity. So they decide to, like, put them back together. Of course, Zero talks to Nezu, as Zero tells him everything about that the Quirk Doctor planted that obedience chip onto his back plate, and because he doesn't want his designs to go crazy. And so now, after overhaul, during the overhaul thing, Zero, like, beats us not out of all the villains, not killing them, just knocking them out, as he basically, yeah. So then he goes in as he beats Overhaul, then the monster form, then, yeah, all that stuff. As Zero had flashbacks of a girl that almost similar to Ares. But then he just pushes it back of his mind. Kind of, as then he ends up hitting the Overhaul, the monster form, with enough force to put down one single planet. Like, one punch and could destroy the entire world. But all for one, Hun was knocked out. So then, yeah, all that stuff. Infinity was completely cured from all the quirks that got put into him by the Quirk Doctor. And yeah, so there was no monstrous forms. But yeah, so the Infinity, they did not, or none of them realized that Infinity doesn't need the quirks. So he was out. As, let's say, Overhaul had the Nun's form. Yeah. as Infinity and Zero were like, ready? Ready. As they both fused back into one body. And instead of going all monstrous rage on them, he transforms himself into the into that one. More like the gun tier one. I forget how will I put this here. Hold on. He transforms into this guy. Yeah. As yeah, not the like that king looking guy, but this guy right here. As yeah, the everyone's surprised because both of them has evolved into that. And so yeah, instead of turning into a mindless brute, as he says, I hope that you have fun, as he uses his tail to whip against or Overhaul. And he uses his powers of infinity to do that again and again and again, like bouncing him around like a little rag doll. And yeah. So basically, yeah. So so Zuko, or not Zuko, everyone could not believe, and then he used Zero to separate them. Separate Overhaul's monster forms back into the four, and then yeah. So, and then he went back to human form, as he feels much better. Yeah. Sorry. So yeah, he did evolve. He got more buffed up, more like he looks like those, like kind of like what you see on your screen. This guy right here. Yeah. So, and no, let me clarify this up for you. No, it is not because of the name of my character is lazy, but I'm trying to use like some appropriate image that YouTube would let me use. Because I could have just used like something with like the scariest stuff, then be demonetized, used, or have something that's not like, oh, I'm gonna use it to, bam, I win. So, yeah. So then, the they had, and so that girl that was time skip to 14, or not, from the past 10 years, that little girl that he saved was only age of 13. and he saved her life. So then 10 years later, she is now 13 years old. And she is basically looks like a, you know, she was basically a, where is she? Where is she? I'm trying to find her, but there she is. She looks like that at age of 14 or 13. Sorry. And then, yeah. So then the whole thing, of course, she, when she saw what the creature looked like with the powers of infinity and zero, she went from being like, okay, this, I don't care, to, and after she saw the monster form of him, here, to, like, when Ringo, like, saw, like, the big monster when she saw this creature in her, she knew who it was. As she, like, had that, like, love in her eyes. As whoever finds or loves scary stuff, all the girls that love scary stuff fell in love with him. They all, like, when he, yeah. Plus, his brother was like, man. And that guy, or your brother, are pretty powerful. Yeah. So then, after the overhaul fight, every girl that loved scary stuff, like Rinko, Toga, I'm trying to figure out who likes scary stuff. Oh, hold on. So I could not find any other other, like, ones that were, except for, like, Ringo and most of the stuff. So, yeah. So all the girls kept going to his house. And he's like, there's only 2 people that are brave enough to ask him out. 2 people that are brave enough to ask him out is Himiko Toga and not twice. Ringo. I meant to say Ringo and Himiko Toga. Oh. And yeah. And he got bumped up to class 1A. Because without a quirk, he could just stay at the Class 1B, but he had a power, so that's so overpowered that boosted him up. So yeah. So yeah. So then Rinko and Toga. Toga was in Class 1B instead of the League of Villains. So yeah. And Toga and her asked him, like, who would he date between Toga and her. And yeah. So he says, I'm not really picky on choosing which girls. I'll be happy to date you both at the same time. And really? And yeah. So both of them, or all three of them, got dating. And yeah. So then they got married and had 4 kids. Then 2 boys, 2 girls, and they all had similar things. So all the kids have the ability to shapeshift into different creatures, like what their father does. But it also, because one boy and one girl from, no, like, because the reason why I said 2 boys, 2 girls was one boy, one girl from one of his, and the other was the saint. So, yeah. So then he became a pro hero, and everyone, like all the villains, were scared of him. So they all went into hiding. And yeah. So yeah, they all went into hiding, and Lazy was just relaxing with his wives and his sons and daughters and his brother. Yeah. They all hang out. And yeah, all of them. Yeah. I am not going to put like 18 plus in this video, so that's why I didn't say they did that deed. So basically, yeah. Lazy was just it. So now, time skip to the future where everyone is old and a newer generation came along. But the only person that never actually ages is him. So he saw his brother died. He was at his funeral. Everyone's funeral. But he stayed in control of his own self. Because his zero doesn't allow the infinity power to go berserk. So then he did keep his kids from dying. He kept them alive for a very long time. And then, yeah, it was sad. Then the day came where the entire world went into crud. As the only survivor of that home world, or of that home, like Earth, was now lazy. Is the only survivor left. Everyone else had died that fateful day. So, yeah. Man, he sure does like the picture. Somehow, he got a picture of Ringhoses naked body thing. Or actually, Toga gave the picture that to him. So, yeah. And of course, she took a picture of herself, too. So then he gets those two pictures out. And, yeah. Because he was the only one left. Everyone else just died. He sat in like his little hut thing till his time came. But then, of course, he looked at the picture of both of them. You don't know what he's gonna do. Or he doesn't even know what to do either. So, yeah. But then the time came for him to finally decide. So, he thought about it as Zero, the part of him, tells him that how about go back in time? Yeah. So he went back back through time, and it was, let's say it was 5 years old. He just woke up from his nap, or his like sleep thing. He woke up accidentally hitting his brother in the head. Or actually, not his brother. His brother was like, or he was screaming as his brother was like, okay, brother? Yeah, I had a weird nightmare thing where he saved this person, or saved a little girl, and then for 10 years, yeah. So he told him the entire dream as he says, that will never happen to you. I won't let anything bad happen to you. Yeah. And he hugs his brother. And now the cycle begins. And, like, it was... You know that infinity symbol where... It's like a repeat of a story. If you want to go check out part 1, go right ahead. And so, because this one will have, and make sure you have it on infinite loop, because the part 1 and part 2 are basically overlap thing, where it happens like the same thing in part 1. And as then all that other stuff goes on, and then the more pictures, and then rewrote, like, rewinding thing, like endless cycle of seeing your friends, seeing your brothers, like all that stuff. Like, you have to relive your life over and over and over again. Where you started, like say from 5 years ago, or from, like, when, imagine at the age of 5, aim to, like, all the way to 99, and you're just, then you have to, but with your power of infinity and 0, you would have gone back through time, like, rewind all the way to age of 5. Aim to, but you got smarter on which ones. Plus, no one else remembers what happened. It was, So, he wrote a book. And before, I forgot to mention, he wrote a book before, and he kept it with him. And he had pictures of Ringo and Toga. But he still has that 0 thing. Yeah. So, then all that stuff goes on. And, so it's like an endless cycle of life, where it, like, starts and then ends, then begins, and then, like, infinite loop. That's what I'll say. Okay? So, please leave a like, share, subscribe, and comment on this video. Please leave a like, share, subscribe, and comment on this video. Sorry. Now I'm going to start doing it. So, bye.